House Marquee is back at it. Is back at it again by the end of this month, April 30th. Returnal has returned. Returnal. Well, you guys know how I felt about Returnal. You know how I feel about these types of games. Do you even need to watch this video to understand how I feel about SAROS? Look, I understand. Okay, before all of you get triggered, all of you Returnal fanboys, before you get triggered, I understand that there's specific, percentage of gamers out there that appreciate these types of games, that they enjoy these types of games. Okay? And that's okay. Not every game it's made for everyone. There you go. Not every game it's made for everyone. And that's what I'm essentially telling you guys. I understand why some of you are praising this. I understand why some of you want to buy the deluxe edition and get the game 2 days early on the 28th instead of 30th. You want to get the game, play the game on the 28th of April. I understand why you're excited. I understand why you want to play this. But I also need you to understand my perspective. Okay. Yes, House Marquee was very successful with this game. It was the very first exclusive, the very first IP of PlayStation 5. And honestly, Returnal will be the only new IP that I will remember on the PlayStation 5. When I look back at PlayStation 5 in history, I will think of Returnal. That's what I will think of. So, Returnal, I understand. It's one of those games where it's similar to Elden Ring. Okay, I get it. It's a roguelike type game. When you die, you got to go back. When you die, you have to go back. You have to go back. And that's okay. I understand that there's a big percentage of gamers out there that enjoy those types of games, like roguelike type games. I understand that. I understand that, like Elden Ring. I don't think Elden Ring it's a bad game, nor do I think Returnal it's a bad game. I'm simply saying Elden Ring, Returnal, they're not like Demon Souls, Dark Souls. Okay, they're not my type of games. So am I going to play this? No. There's no, even if somebody gifted me this, I would say, no, thank you. Go get me, Starfield, or go get me a Samsung. You know what I mean? No, there's no way I would ever play this. I just don't like these types of games. I never did. I understand why you guys play these games, but I couldn't get into it. I tried. I just can't, But I understand why you guys like it. Okay? And another thing I want to say is, same goes for Bloodborne. Bloodborne, Demon Souls, Dark Souls, all of these games. It's just not for me. Okay? It's frustrating. Okay? And you can't even pay me to play this. No, seriously. My blood pressure, it's very important to me. And this, just looking at this, I can already feel the rise of the high blood pressure, the blisters on my hands. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you, sir. So what I'm essentially saying here is, am I excited about this? Why would I be? No, I'm not. I wasn't excited about it when it came out 5 years ago, when the Returnal came out. No, am I excited for this? SAROS, okay? Just, it's not for me, guys. It is not for me. That's what I want you to understand. So, there's something else I want to say here. Besides the obvious that you guys already know, that this is not my type of game, and I don't like this. Even if you gave me this for free, I would say, no, please, save your money. Go get me a, a Starfield, okay? Or Samsung. Here's what I want to say. I always felt that PlayStation 5 generation, this generation of PlayStation 5, it's probably the weakest of all of the PlayStation generations because of Returnal. I always felt like Returnal, that's all we're going to remember PlayStation 5 from, is this new IP called Returnal. And I think that's pretty sad. Honestly, I don't think PlayStation 5 will go down in history as a memorable console. Honestly, it'll probably be the weakest. It's the weakest Sony's console of all time. When you compare it to the original PlayStation and the behemoth PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4, greatness awaits. PlayStation 5 will go down in history. It's probably their weakest in terms of like how many new IPs did Sony bring? No, let's be honest. Returnal. Now, don't talk to me about sequels. What about the God of War Ragnarok? That's a already well-established IP from PlayStation 4. It's a sequel. What about the Miles Morales? That's a sequel. What about the Spider-Man 2? That's a sequel. These are all sequels. It doesn't count. What does count? Well, Returnal and SAROS. Those are the two new IPs. Returnal and SAROS. What about the Death Stranding 2? Again, it's a sequel from a already well-established PlayStation 4 limited exclusive that came out in 2019, I believe. I think it was November of 2019. Okay? I think it was November of 2019. So, let's just be honest here. What about the Horizon Zero Dawn Forbidden West? Again. Oh, it's a PlayStation 4 IP. Well established. It's just a sequel. So, it doesn't count. Okay? So, what does count? Well, Returnal counts. House Marquee counts. So, Returnal and SAROS, both of these two, they're the only two IPs. And honestly, SAROS is no different than Returnal. It's just a copy of a Returnal. Really, it's let's just call it for what it is. It's just a copy of a Returnal. You know, so, and it's kind of sad that Sony didn't give us something better than this. I was really hoping that PlayStation 5 was going to give us something better than this. People say, what about Ghost of Yotei? It's based on a successor of the original IP that was designed on PlayStation 4. Okay? From the Sucker Punch games. So it's a sequel. Alright? So it doesn't count. People say, well, what about there's only two games. Returnal and SAROS. That's it. People say, what about Wolverine? Well, it's a Marvel game. Okay? And we don't know if it's going to be a exclusive. Or is it going to find its way on a PC? We don't know that. We don't know that yet. But it's a Marvel game. It's a Marvel game. Okay? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's not like Sony created a new IP. Wolverine's been around since I was born, all right? Reading those Marvel comic books. So, listen, I'm not trying to trash PlayStation. I love PlayStation. But we have to be honest here. We have to stick to the facts. Okay, let's just look at the facts. You can disagree with me all you want. You can defend your PlayStation all day long. But let's look at the facts. You only have two IPs. That's it. The only two IPs you have is Returnal and SAROS. Wolverine, I'm sorry, it doesn't qualify because we don't know if it will show up on PC. Death Stranding 2 is already coming to PC, so we don't know, if Wolverine will show up on the PC. Okay, all I'm saying is there's only 2 new IPs that Sony was able to bring us within 5 years, and that is pathetic, man. That is the weakest that Sony has ever produced in their entire 30 years of being into this business of video games successfully. But PlayStation 5 will not be remembered as some sort of a success. It'll be remembered as a very weak generation of PlayStation in a series. PlayStation 1, 2, 3, and 4 will be remembered, especially PlayStation 2, the behemoth. But PlayStation 5 will be the weakest of them all because they couldn't bring any new IPs, man. What about the Code Violet? Yo. Yo, look, I like Code Violet for what it is. It's my own guilty pleasure, all right? But it's not like a system seller, all right, dude? It's not a system seller. Me personally, that's my own subjective, opinion. I have a guilty pleasure, but that's my thing, all right? It's not everybody's thing. It's my guilty pleasure. I enjoy Code Violet, but, dude, you can't really possibly consider Code Violet to be a system seller. Is this going to be a system seller? Yes, because people like this. There's a good percentage of people that like this, and they will buy it. But it's a roguelike type game. It will only appeal to a certain limited audience. Same thing with the Elden Ring. I just don't think this is I'm not trying to contradict myself here. Yes, it will sell a bunch of units. Okay? Yes, people will buy it. People will play it because there's a certain percentage of people who like a roguelike type games. Okay? But if you want to approach a majority out there as a system seller, then you need something stronger than just SAROS and Returnal. You know what I'm saying? What I'm trying to say in this video, without trying to drag this video any longer than it needs to be, what I'm trying to say simply is PlayStation 5 will go down in history as the weakest system in the generation, in the history of Sony's generation systems. It will go down in history as one of the weakest consoles ever. It's just only 2 new IPs, and that's it. Within 5 years, and that's not good, man. What about the PlayStation 6? I don't know, dude. I don't know what to think of PlayStation 6. That's a whole separate subject. That's a whole separate video. I don't know what to think about that. But nothing looks promising. Looking at the, listen. Let me just pause this for a minute. Looking at the what the CEO of Sony said, it doesn't look very promising. Did you guys watch the interview? It was on the news. It was on CNBC or Bloomberg TV. I don't know. I think it was CNBC or Bloomberg. I don't know. I think it was CNBC. And he flat out just said to the interviewer, we were forced to raise the prices. Okay? And then he went on to say that, we don't like doing this, but we have no choice. We have to do this. And he wasn't really optimistic. Like, the way the interview was so depressing, dude. This new CEO of Sony really made me depressed regarding the Sony. Really, I was like, wow, dude. This is some bad news, bro. Like, don't get too excited for PlayStation 6. The gaming industry is changing. I already told you this. I know you guys live in this status quo, this world of status quo, and you think that nothing will ever evolve, that nothing will ever change, that everything will stay the same. No, things evolve, things change. Look at me, look at my gray beard. Even I change. We all change. All right? People evolve, they grow. So for people to think that the consoles will always be around, the consoles will always be here, the consoles will be always available. No, dude, things are changing, man. Look at Game Pass. Look at PlayStation Plus. You look at even Nintendo expansion pack, Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack. Everything's going into a service, cloud service. Everything is a service. Things are changing, man. You know, video gaming industry is changing. You know. And I think you guys will realize that next year. I don't think you are going to feel it this year, but I think in 2027 you're going to realize, oh my goodness, the video gaming industry has really changed. Things are changed forever, and you'll see that next year, 2027. So yeah. Anyway, really nothing exciting about this game. You know, it's just a Returnal 2.0. I call this a Returnal 2.0. That's what this is to me, honestly. That's what they should have called it. Not SAROS, but Returnal 2.0. It would have been much better if it was Returnal 2.0. Yeah. So I don't know, man. Look, I'll make a separate video talking about the future of PlayStation and PlayStation 6 and what do I think. You know, look, man, I don't want to be a negative nanny, okay? I'm not trying to be a negative nanny, okay? I love video games, okay? Even when I talked about Stadia, I didn't want to see Stadia fail. All right? I don't want to see products fail. I don't want to see, you know, this industry fail. I want great games. If these industries are successful, then we're also going to benefit from that. From their success, we're going to benefit. But, you know, I'm not trying to be pessimistic. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm not trying to be some negative gloom and doom nanny, you know. I'm simply saying that we have to look at the facts, you know. And the facts are not looking good, especially after watching that interview on a CNBC. I think it was CNBC. Go watch it, actually, after this, with that CEO of Sony. And he was really depressing about it. You know, he was like totally enthusiastic. Like there was no enthusiasm. Totally unenthusiastic. Zero enthusiasm. Unenthusiastic. Can you say that? Unenthusiastic. Yeah, I think that's the proper word. Unenthusiastic. Zero enthusiasm. None. Zero. Nothing for him to be excited about, to talk about the excitement about the PlayStation 6, or like the guy was like depressed, bro. Like the way he was talking about the future of PlayStation, it's almost like we're doing what we can to survive. Basically, bro. It's, listen, maybe I'll make a video about it. Maybe I'll tell you what, I'll make a video about that interview, and I'll play what he says, what the interviewer asked him, and what the CEO of Sony said, and then I'll give you my, you know, thoughts and opinions on it as well. But it is depressing, and I'll make that video probably tomorrow. I'm too tired right now, but most likely tomorrow I will make that video. As you'll know, I've been, man, making so many videos, so much content, you know. But probably tomorrow I'll make that video, and we'll talk about it. You know, I'll show you the interview, and you'll hear what I have to say. And but the interview is just very depressing. So I'm not like really excited for neither Xbox or PlayStation, because Project Helix, what's that going to be like? A hybrid PC, and how much it's going to cost? If they're charging $1,000 for a PC handheld, how much they're going to charge for the PC hybrid console, wannabe PC hybrid console called Project Helix next year? How much is that going to be? $1,200? Imagine that, paying $1,200 for a console, dude. Forget it. Forget it, dude. Just stick with your PC, bro. Stick with what you have, bro. If you will have to pay $1,200 for both Project Helix and PlayStation 6, you're better off just like, dude, like, just go back to your mobile games. Just play mobile games. There's so many free mobile games. Just play mobile games that are on your phone. That's it. You know, or on your tablet. Tablet games, mobile games. That's it. You're better off playing tablet games. You know, some of those tablet games, they're actually pretty good. And there's so many free tablet games, dude. If you have like a good tablet and you got like 1 terabyte on there of storage, bro, you can, hypothetically speaking, let's say you have a SD memory card and you got additional whatever, 500 gigabytes of SSD, and you got 1 terabyte altogether with an additional 500 gigabyte micro SD card or something. Let's say you got 1 terabyte of 1 terabyte of storage, dude. You could put like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of games, hundreds of games for you to play and just enjoy, dude, and just play those games. I don't know, man. Just like the gaming industry. Look, I don't want to, talk about gaming industry on this video because that's a separate video for a separate subject. But it's not looking good, guys. The gaming industry. I'm not super excited, bro, about like the video games and where it's going. And it's just not looking good, honestly. I know there's a Wolverine, there's a Grand Theft Auto 6, but that's once in how many years? How long do you have to wait for Grand Theft Auto, right? And how long do we have to wait for Wolverine, right? Finally, we get Wolverine game. So that's once in a lifetime, right? But yeah, anyway. So yeah, SAROS, I'm sure you guys, certain percentage of you will enjoy this. So if you enjoy the Returnal, you will enjoy this. Think of this like a Returnal 2.0. But me, no. Please don't gift me this. Don't waste your money on this. Just gift me Starfield. If you want to do me a favor, gift me a Starfield on PlayStation 5. Or Samson on Steam. Or Samson on Steam. But not this, man. No, sir. No, sir. Not for me. This is not for me. Okay. I like my blood pressure to be at 120. I don't want to go above 130. I like my blood pressure to stay at 120. Okay. So, no SAROS for me. Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video.